everybody. This is Paul. I'm going to narrate this in the background for you. We're on our way to Stephen Foster Park. We had left the Suwanee. We were supposed to go somewhere else after the Suwanee. I'll talk more about that afterwards. But here's where we're driving in at. And I was a little disappointed in Stephen Foster Park. The campground was really beautiful, but there wasn't really too much to see in the park itself. Excuse me while I sneeze. This is us walking around the campground, looking at the campsite. They're very large campsites, very large, accommodating just about anything you could possibly imagine. Up to 50, 60 feet, plus a tow car. I apologize for the video. This was not taken with my Sony Cam. This was taken with one of the cheap knockoffs that I have. Lesson to be learned here is don't use crap cameras. Anyway, we have lots to bring you in the coming year. It's me, Paul, your host. I'm here with traveling in the Paradise Cruiser. We're making some last minute plans and getting everything together for the next trip. Unfortunately, we had to cut our trip a little bit for the next excursion out because I had some doctor's appointments that I had to move around, so we won't be able to go out until February, end of March, first part of March. So we're gonna do Cape Canaveral this coming weekend. Robert Polk's gonna be there from Traveling Robert's rally. We're going to have Richard Rios is going to show up. He was also in San Antonio at our rally. I don't know whether Traveling Robert's going to show up or not, but we hope that he is. At least a while to say hello and to a couple of his Patreon people. And maybe he'll sit and have a beer with us. But we've been, as I said, kind of busy cleaning up the house, getting everything ready to go. The motorhome, we're looking into some things now on the motorhome that I hadn't planned on getting to just yet, such as the roof. It seems that the roof might have a couple bubbles in it, which I was unaware of. Anyway, so on this long trip, we had planned on going west and stopping over in Louisiana at a friend of mine's house for a wedding, and then going on all the way out to Nevada and California to Death Valley. But we've opted to change our plans a little bit, and I think we're going to go north. So we'll probably go Alabama or Georgia and go to the north up to Tennessee and Kentucky. We may go over through Indiana. We may go through Illinois, but I think we're going to go up through Missouri and Iowa. I have another friend or two in Missouri that I'd like to visit. I've never personally seen Kansas or Nebraska. And maybe we'll go up that way, up through Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming. Maybe we'll go all the way to Montana or Idaho. So anyway, here is Stephen Foster Park, and here's the bell tower where they house all the cultural information and history of Stephen Foster, actually his music. And this is called a carillon, and it has one of the largest tubular bells in the world's largest tubular bells. Unfortunately, you do not get to see the tubular bells. I guess you probably do. You just gotta ask for a. Anyway, it says here, the setup at White Springs was their largest carillon with largest tubular bells in the United States. This is some of the original sheet music. I'm sure it's copied, but that's probably his actual handwriting. Looks to me like Stephen Foster was not a very good grammar. I mean, I'm looking at the wording and how it's spelled. No matter, that's the state song for Florida. Unfortunately, I didn't get a good recording of the lady who was playing a dulcimer and the piano, and she was playing many of Stephen Foster's music, which you will hear in the background of the video. That is a dulcimer, and they had those for sale in the gift shop. They're about $300, although I've seen them for sale online for about $60. You're going to see her strumming that. Unfortunately, I was not able to get very good sound on the crap camera that I was using, so I'll sit back and let you listen to her play this. Basically a sit-down guitar. How about that? She knows how to play it and that piano, let me tell you. I put some information up there on the screen if you want to read about it. You can pause the video and read all about what a dulcimer is. Unfortunately, as I said, my audio on that camera was pretty bad. What I learned about using these cheap cameras is the steadiness of the camera is very poor. Let me just grab one of these so that you can see what I'm talking about. So if you have to buy one of these, if you happen to buy one of these cameras, you'll know that the quality is very poor. This is the quality of this camera. This is it right here. And they do okay for still shots, and maybe you got a steady hand with a 3-axis gimbal, you might be able to get something to come out of it. So there it is, the building of the carillon with the tubular bells. Anyway, I'm going to kind of talk in the background with some other stuff I've got going on, and you can watch this on the front end of this. And anyway, I'm glad that we have a lot of people watching, and hopefully the channel will grow. We'll get our new camera back and be back on the filming thing again. But I'm going to try to do more impromptu video with less editing, because it takes a lot of work to get these things. Try to put some new stickers on the RV this year, at least. let's see, we went to the Suwanee for Thanksgiving, and then we went to Stephen Foster Park, and we were supposed to go to Gilchrist, Blue Springs, but the campground that they assigned us was pretty well unlevel, and we were unable to get hooked up, and I was pretty well disgusted as the utilities were on the wrong side of the site. So we went down the road a little bit and found another campsite. It had about 100 sites in it. Yeah, maybe about 50. It had about 50 sites, and they had a spring-fed pond, and it had some big catfish. So we stayed there for one night, and the price was reasonable. It was a nice site. From there, we went over to Camp Blanding, which is a military reserve post, and stayed there a night, and that was pretty nice. It was a bit on the expensive side, and they have a dog fee that they charge per dog per night, which I thought that was kind of unusual for a military base. But that's not to say they don't do that. So anyway, we have one more out after this this rally type outing thing down in Cape Canaveral, and after that we're going to be staying at military base in Jacksonville. It's called it eludes me just now. Anyway, this is a shout out to Mike and MJ over at Mike and MJ's Adventures. I put something in the mail for you. Let me just see what else I've got here. I got a bunch of stickers. Let me grab these stickers. I want to say thank you to the people who sent me the stickers. And it's Mike and MJ's Adventure. Here's Mike and MJ's Adventure sticker. Let's see what we got here. We got Jones into Travel RV. Here's theirs. Jones into Travel. And we have some locals to me here in Florida. They live just down the road here in St. Augustine. And they are Southeastern Living, RV Living. Here's their sticker. They sent me a couple of those. And I have this one called shreddingtogether.com. Let's see what else we got here. We have a blog for full-time Southeastern living. There's these that they've given me. And I have these little ones. This says a blog about full-time RV living, and these little tiny ones here. Anyway, I want to say thank you to you guys for sending those out to me. I put something in the mail for you guys. You should find it in your mailbox. I hope you appreciate that. I know that I surely appreciate the stickers. This is coming live on Sunday morning. I'm going to try to do a little bit better video with less editing and more music. I'm trying to catch up on everything. I don't film everything all around the house, but I've got a lot of things going on here. We bought a new rack for the car. I don't know. I have to go have it put on. They have to put a wire on for our tow bar as well. That was neglected last time out, so that when we were out traveling with the motorhome in the car, after about 6 hours the battery went dead because they forgot to put the wire on. So we're going to have them put the wire on. But I'm looking for a new stereo for the, well, they call it a media center. I'm looking for a new media center for the motorhome, as the Furrion products don't really get it for me. They're kind of boring. But I'm going to try some new videoing, and anyway, I want to close this out here. And this is just a little video to say hello. Happy New Year to everybody. And we would have liked to have gone to the court site. I don't guess it's going to be RTR, but maybe it is RTR. But I know that there's a whole bunch of people out there. There's Jones and the Travels out there, and Papa Drew's out there. I think Mike and MJ's out there. We have some really good things planned for this year. I did want to say that the Sony camera is currently at the doctor's in Connecticut. It appears it wouldn't shut off, so we are on a JVC Handycam right here at the house. So getting rid of all the knockoff cameras, knockoff GoPros, and I'm gonna stick with the Sony FDX 3000 and this JVC Handycam. So I'm gonna close this out here. Bill. You watch. Okay, I guess the dog doesn't want to get in the picture today. Rink in an elaborate multi-level spring house enjoyed by thousands of visitors each year. Wealthy travelers were pampered at luxury hotels like the Hamilton, the Colonial, and the Edgewood, while they bathed in the spring, drank its medicinal waters, and were treated to massage and other spa treatments. Business travelers stayed in dozens of boarding houses or smaller hotels in town, such as the Mat Hare, the Horn House, and the High House. African Americans who took advantage of the weekend rail excursions for picnicking and other recreational opportunities stayed at the Nodia, McClary's, or King Henry Williams boarding houses, or took rooms with Noah Bennett family and other local residents. In the evenings, the residents and visitors retired to cool and shady front porches to watch passing tourists strolling on the boardwalks, shopping for the latest fashions on their way to one of the season's grand balls. A steady stream of buggies and carriages brought visitors down Spring Street to the various hotels and guest houses, with trains stopping in town 4 times a day by 1909. In 1931, Joseph K. Lilly, an Indianapolis drug manufacturer and collector of Foster memorabilia, suggested that the state of Florida should honor the memory of Stephen Foster, the composer of whose song, Old Folks Home, made the Suwanee River famous worldwide. The Florida Federation of Music Clubs selected the town of White Springs as the site of the proposed memorial after the town and the Sanders family donated riverfront land in the resort, high on a flood-proof bluff, in 1935. The Florida legislature adopted Old Folks Home as Florida's official song, and in 1939 the state provided a primary appropriation of $25,000 and established a commission to begin development of the Stephen J. Foster Memorial, with the completion of the Stephen Foster Museum and Park officially opened in 1950. Just 3 years later, Florida folk culture became a permanent component of the center when All Florida Folk Festival began. In 1957, the Carillon Tower was built, housing the world's largest set of tubular bells. Today, the music of America's favorite songwriter and folk arts of Florida are alive at Stephen Foster Center as the bells peal out Foster melodies over the Crafts Square. The park's campground also hosts outdoor enthusiasts who enjoy exploring the Florida Trail, as well as other biking, hiking, and canoe trails through the park grounds that connect to other public lands. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next